Okay, this is the solution to the test samples for chapter 5 and 6. Okay, number 1, let's simplify this rational expression. Okay, when we simplify this, the positive exponent, we need positive exponent. So we have negative 9 and negative 12. So we can make it positive by moving this exponential form to the other side. So x to negative 9 is in the numerator, so put it in the denominator. It can be then, it becomes x to 9th power, and 15 stays here. And this x to the negative 12th power, this should move to the numerator, then the exponent becomes positive 12. Alright, then we can reduce 10 and 15, so we can divide 10 and 15 by 5, then 2, then 15 divided by 5 is 3. And x to 9th power. So actually, in this case, we didn't have to move these numbers. Okay, anyway, move this one to the numerator. That means x to the 12th power minus 9, so that the numerator is 2 times x cubed and over 3. Okay, in this case, we can do this way. Okay, 10 and 15 is 2 over 3. The negative 9, the exponent is negative 9 and negative 12. So in that case, why don't we move the smaller exponent to the numerator? So negative 12, move negative 12 to the numerator, then it becomes plus 12. So 2 over 3, x to the 3rd power. This is 9, right? Why it's 19? So in that case, you can move this to the numerator because the exponent negative 12 is less than negative 9. So when you add the exponent, it becomes positive. So this is better. Okay, number 2. Okay, in this case, we have to remove the base, simplify the exponential form. So 18 times. Okay, the base is a cubed b squared. So we can raise this exponent to each factor in the base. So raise a cubed to the 2nd power and b squared to the 2nd power. Do the same thing. 8 times. Now this one has 3 factors, 3a and b. So we can make it a squared. Okay, assign this power to each factor in the base. Okay, 3, okay, this one should be 3 squared, a squared, b squared. Then the numerator is 18 times a to the multiply, get power to another power, raised to another power. So 2 times 3 is 6, b to the 2 times 2 is 4, over, okay, a, here it is 3 squared is 9, a times a squared is what? A cubed, 1 plus 2 is 3, and then b squared. So that is equal to 18 over 9 is 2, and then a to the what? 6. Move this 3 to the numerator, then minus 6. b to the, move this 2 to the numerator, then 4 minus 2. So 2 times a to the 4th power b squared. Okay, in this case 6 minus 3 is 3, right? So it's gotta be 3. Alright, next, number 3 is, this is subtraction. Subtract this binomial from this binomial. So polynomial, this polynomial from this polynomial. Okay, so this is equal to, clear the parentheses. And when you clear this parentheses, we gotta multiply each term by the negative sign. So negative y squared plus negative, multiply negative. So that is plus y cubed. And then combine the like terms. So let's combine the largest exponent term. So 4 plus 1 is 5y cubed. And x squared term, here's x squared. So that is 3 minus 1 is plus 2y squared. Okay, number 40 is factor completely. So when we factor a polynomial, we have to factor it completely. That means each factor should be prime. So in this case, there are 4 terms and there is no common factor, so we can try factor by grouping. So let's make a group of the first 2 terms and another group for the last 2 terms. Then from the first 2 terms, the common factor is what? U squared. So u minus 1. And from this group, the common factor is 4 or negative 4. But we usually factor out negative together because this one has negative. So factor out negative 4, then u minus 1. Since you factor out negative, you have to change the sign of each term. Okay, always, if grouping is working, then we must have common binomial factor. So this is equal to u minus 1 is the common factor, and then parenthesis u squared minus 4. Okay, each factor has to be a prime, but since this is a difference of squares, we can factor that binomial because this is u squared minus 2 squared, and this is difference of squares. So this is equal to u plus 2, u minus 2. Do you remember the formula? What's the formula? Okay, a squared minus b squared, then this is equal to a plus b times a minus b. The formula. Okay, number 5, factor completely. So first of all, we have to factor out the GCF first. Always factor out the common factor. So the common factor is 3x to the 4th power. And then why 3x to the 4th power? Because the 75 has a factor to 3, and here's x to the 4th power, x to the 4th power. So we can factor out 3x to the 4th power, then x squared minus, okay, 3 times what is 75? 25. X, 25, right? Just 25. Because x to the 4th power factored out. Okay, then these two are what? Difference of squares, isn't it? 25 is 5 squared. Difference of squares. So finally, we can make a product of x plus 5, x minus 5. Okay, let's try number 6. Here's an error. 3x, this is 3x to the 4th power. So this should be 4th power, right? 4th power, x to the 4th power. Okay. Why I keep writing 2 to the 4th power? All right, number 6, solve the equation. When you solve an equation, make sure the right side of the equation is 0. If this is, it's not a linear equation. Then this is polynomial greater than, the degree is greater than 1. So make sure the right side is 0, and then factor the left side of the equation. Factor this polynomial. And is there a common factor? Yes, x is the common factor. So factor out x, then 3x squared plus 7x minus 6 is equal to 0. And then let's try to factor this trinomial. So let's find the pair, the pair of factors. The first term is what? X times 3x. The last term is 3 times 1, or 3 times 2, right? 3 times 2. And the product has to be negative, so why don't we put the negative sign on 2? Because the sum of the cross multiply has to be positive. 3 times 3 is what? 9x. X times 2x is negative 2x. The sum is 7x. So this is same as the second term. So the left side is x times x plus 3, 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. Then we set each factor to 0. So from x is equal to what? From the first factor, x equals 0. From the second factor, move 3 to the other side, then x is negative 3. From here, move 2, negative 2 to the other side, then positive 2 over divided by 3. Okay, if you are not sure, then you can write it like this. 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. Then 3x is equal to 2 divide each side by 3, so 2/3. Okay. Okay, number 7, solve the equation. So, this is quadratic, so we gotta put all the terms to one side of the equation. So why don't we move these two terms to the left? Then the leading coefficient will be positive. So 20x squared, and then minus 3x stays there, and then move 2 to the other side, minus 2 is equal to 0. Okay, and then let's factor this trinomial. No common factors, so let's find the right pair for this one. Okay, 20 is like 4 times 5. So 4x times 5x, 20x squared. And then negative 2 is a product of 2 times 1 or 1 times 2. 1 times 2 or 2 times 1. Okay, let's try 1 times 2. 1 times 2. Put the negative sign on maybe on 2. Okay, then this product is 5x. This product is negative 8x. The sum is negative 3x. So this is the same as the second term. So the left side of the equation is the product of 4x plus 1, 5x minus 2. Okay, from here, let's set each factor to 0. Then since 4x plus 1 is equal to 0, 4x is equal to negative 1. Then x equals negative 1 over 4. Or, okay, from the second factor, 5x minus 2 is equal to 0. So 5x equals 2. Then x equals 2 over 5. So we have two solutions. Okay, number 8. Okay, factor completely. So, okay, is there any common factor? Yes. So we can try 4 or 2. We can try 2, right? 2. So factor out 2, then 8t cubed minus 27. And then, if you see the parenthesis, the binomial, this is a cube, t cube. T cube. So let's check if we can write this one as difference of cubes. Then, yes, this is difference of cube because 8 is 2 cubed and 27 is 3 cubed. So we can write it as what? 2t cubed minus 3 cubed. So this is the difference of cubes. And if it's difference of cubes, what is the formula? Okay, let's see the formula. A cubed minus b cubed is equal to what? A minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So using this formula, we can write it as what? 2 times. Okay, a is 2t, so 2t minus 3 times a squared, so 2t squared. 2t squared. Let me put bracket. 2t squared plus ab. So 2t times 3 plus b squared. 3 squared. And this is equal to 2 times 2t minus 3. And the bracket is 2t squared is 4t squared plus 2 times 3, 6t plus... Okay, for number 9, okay, let's simplify this exponential expression. So we need all the exponents should be positive. So first of all, there are many different ways. So why don't we just make the exponent positive? Then we can reciprocate the base. So take the reciprocal of the base. So that we can change the exponent to positive 2. All right. And then why don't we, before we square it, and then why don't we simplify the base first? Simplify the base. Okay, simplify the base, and then we can assign this power to each factor. Okay, when we simplify the negative sign, okay, negative sign stays there. Okay, 3 divided by 3 is 1, 6 divided by 3 is 2. We have a negative sign. And then for the a, why don't we move negative 5 to the bottom? So this will be a to the negative 3 plus 5. Okay, not enough space. And then multiply by, how about b? Okay, here it is a to the first power. So move this first power to the bottom. So minus 1, right? So I'm collecting all the exponential form whose base is a. And how about b? This b cubed, b to the 6th power. So why don't you move this 3 to the bottom? So 6 minus 3 raised to the 2nd power. And the numerator, all the numerator is moved down. So we can write it 1. Then this is equal to, okay, the bottom is negative 2. A to the, okay, the exponent of this base a is 1, right? 1. Negative 3 plus 5 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. We don't have to write 1 in the exponent. And b equals 6 minus 3 is 3 squared. So this is equal to, okay, 1 squared is 1. Now we're going to assign this power to each factor. And negative 2 squared is what? Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 2. And then a squared. And then b cubed squared. So that is equal to 1 over. Okay, so let me write this one. Instead of 4, you can write it negative 2 squared. The negative 2 squared is 4, a squared, and b to the 6th power. Oh, wait a second. You know what? I copied the base incorrectly. So this is b to the 6th power, right? B to the 6th power. So this is 6. Why did I write 3? Okay, so the denominator moves to the numerator. So this is b to the 0 power. This was b to the 0 power, right? B to the 0 power. So this is b to the 0 power. Okay, 0 power is equal to 1. So when we simplify this, b to the 6 minus 0. 6 minus 0 is, okay, actually we don't need this one because this b to the 0 power is 1, so we don't have to write anything. Okay, so this is the 6th power, right? 6th power. So this 6th power raised to the 2nd power, right? This one is raised to the 2nd power. So that is b to the 12th power. Okay, number 10 is subtract a from b. Then the expression is b minus a. So write the second expression first minus the first expression. So that will be 4x squared minus 5x minus the first expression. Okay, so this one, the second expression minus the first expression. So minus the first expression, so we gotta put the parenthesis. Okay, then this is equal to 4x squared minus 5x. Negative times negative is plus 3x plus 2x squared. Change the sign of each term in the parenthesis because we are multiplying it by negative. Then this is equal to, combine the like terms. So 4 plus 2 is 6x squared. And this 2 is what? Minus 2x. Okay, number 11, simplify this rational expression. Okay, so in order to simplify, we have to factor each part. So the numerator has the common factor 3x squared. So 3 times 5 is 15x minus 1. And the denominator is 3x squared. Okay, now we have 3x squared, all cancel out. So 5x minus 1. Okay, number 12. Okay, when we simplify the product of two rational expressions, okay, we have to factor each part. So that means we have to factor this one, everything. And in this case, they are all factored. So the numerator is 2x minus 3 times 3x to the fourth power. The denominator is x cubed times. All right, look at these two. These two terms has 3 and 2x, and these two are 3 and 2x. So why don't we switch this one? Okay, in this case, let's check this. Okay, the expression, the subtraction a minus p, from this we can switch these two, b minus a, then you gotta put the negative sign. So we can change these two, then 2x minus 3, then put the minus sign outside, like this. Okay, so that is equal to now what? We can cancel out 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3. And from here, x cubed moves to the front, then minus 3. We can cancel out like this. So this is equal to 3x over just 3x, and then this negative sign moves to the front. So the denominator is 1, so we don't have to write denominator. And this negative sign moves to the front, so negative 3x. Okay, when we subtract two rational expressions, let's check if the denominators are the same. In this case, they are different denominators, unlike denominators, so we gotta find LCD. And the LCD is a product of all different factors with the greatest exponent. And then convert each fraction using the LCD. So change the denominator into the LCD. And then multiply the numerator by what? Multiply the numerator by the missing factor or extra factor. So here is x plus 4. We have x plus 4. So this is extra factor. So multiply this numerator by the extra factor, 2x minus 3. So we are writing the equivalent fraction. And this is 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3. So this is extra factor, so multiply the numerator by the extra factor. Okay, then this is equal to, since the denominators are the same, we can put them together, x plus 4, 2x minus 3. And then simplify the numerator. So the numerator is what? 2x minus 3 minus this minus, and then the whole numerator, so x plus 4. So that is equal to 2x minus 3 minus x minus 4 over x plus 4, 2x minus 3. Then combine the like terms, so 2 minus 1 is x. Negative 3 minus 4 is negative 7 over x plus 4, 2x minus 5. And there's no common factor, so that's it. All right, wrong copy. Okay, this is minus 3, so not minus 5. Minus 3, right? Okay. Okay, number 14, we're going to divide the numerator by x plus 3 using synthetic division. So when you use synthetic division, we got to write the coefficients of the numerator first. So coefficient of x cubed is 1. And the coefficient of x squared, there's no x squared term, so put 0. And coefficient of x is 2. And finally, this is the constant. And we write the divisor. Okay, the divisor is in this case x plus 3. So this is plus 3, then we use what? Change the sign. So it's got to be minus 3, negative 3. And then move the first coefficient down, multiply these two, then negative 3. Add vertically, then this is equal to negative 3. Multiply negative 3 and negative 3 is positive 9. Add vertically, then 7. Multiply these two, then negative 21. And then finally add vertically, so that is equal to 6. Negative 6. Then negative 6 is the remainder, right? So we are looking for the divisor is negative 3, and the remainder is negative 6. Okay, then actually, when you actually divide this one, this is equal to what? Okay, this is the constant, this is the coefficient of x, this is coefficient of x squared. So there will be x squared minus 3x plus 7. Minus 6 is the remainder, so minus 6. Remainder is divided by the divisor. So this is the actual result, but for the answer, we are looking for these two values, so negative 3 and negative 6. Okay, number 15, we want to solve this rational equation. So when you solve this, we got to multiply all the terms by the LCD. And in this case, LCD is x times x minus 1. X times x minus 1. So let's multiply everything by x times x minus 1, so that we can get rid of the denominator. So x times x minus 1. You can multiply this by x times x minus 1. And x times x minus 1. Then that is equal to, okay, x and x minus 1 cancel out. 4 plus 1x cancel out. 3 times x minus 1 equals, okay, x minus 1 cancel out, so 4x left. Then from here, 4 plus 3x minus 3 equals 4x. Okay, then 7. Okay, 4 minus 3 is 1, plus 3x is equal to 4x. Move 3x to the right, okay, minus 3x each side, then x. So x is equals to 1. Okay, when we got the answer, we have to always check. Is x equals 1? Okay. Is it okay? Is this okay? No, not okay, because if x is 1, then what happens? The denominator becomes 0. See here? The denominator becomes 0, right? The denominator becomes 0. So this is not okay, so that there is no solution. Okay, this question is about finding, okay, what is the demand when p equals 7? So we gotta write an equation. Okay, x, the demand x is inversely proportional. Inversely, then we can write it as x equals k divided by, okay, inversely is then divide the constant variation by the price. So that's the equation. And the p value and the demand x value is given. So x is, okay, from here, x is 800. K divided by P is $5. So from here, K is equal to 800 times 5. Then K equals 4,000. So our new equation is x equals 4,000 divided by P. Okay, that's the equation. And then from there, the P is given. P is 7, so x equals, since P is 7, then, okay, let's divide 4,000 by 7, then Okay, 500 and 7 times 7, so 570. So 570 some. Okay, let me double check. Let me double check this one. Alright, in this case, I copied the question incorrectly. The price is 7, not 7. This gotta be price is 6. So not 7, it's gotta be 6. Right? So this is not 7, this gotta be 6. Then 4,000 divided by 6 is, okay, 6 times 6 is 36. So 666. So 6.666, right? So we can write it as 667, or it can be 666. Okay, in number 17, okay, once we completely factor this trinomial, and x minus 1 is one of the factors. So that is given. X minus 1 is one of the factors. So this is factorable. So I don't know what this is. So we gotta find this one. Okay. So since this is factorable, and then this is also divisible by x minus 1, right? So once we divide each side by x minus 1, this one, then this is what we have. So actually we can rewrite like this. Now we can divide this polynomial by x minus 1. So divide each side by x minus 1, then this is what we get, right? So let's divide it, and then the result will be this factor. Alright, then why don't we use synthetic division? So 4, x squared is not there, so 0. The coefficient of x is -3 and -1. Divided by what? This is x minus 1. Okay, x minus 1, so the divisor is 1. 4 down, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, and the result is 0. Now the remainder is always 0 because this is factorable. So this expression is what? 4x squared plus 4x plus 1. So this one goes to over there. So finally, the expression, so this is equal to what? 4x squared plus 4x plus 1, x minus 1. And then is it factorable? Okay, let's check. 2x, 1, 1. Then this is 2 plus 2 is 4x, right? 2x plus 2x is 4x. So yes, we can factor this trinomial. So that is 2x plus 1 squared x minus 1. Okay, let's simplify this fraction. Okay, first of all, we have a negative power, so negative exponent, so let's make it positive. So the numerator is 2y minus, okay, y to -1, that means that goes to the denominator, so y to the first power. The first power, you don't have to write first power. And 10 minus, even y to the -2, it becomes the denominator, then the exponent is positive 2. Alright, then what do we do next? Okay, we multiply all the terms, all the numerator and denominator by the LCD. So what is the LCD? The LCD is y squared. LCD is y squared, so why don't we multiply everything by y squared? This to the y squared, and then y squared. And then 2y cubed minus y and y squared. You know, 1y cancel out, so we have y. 10y squared minus y squared cancel out, so -1. And then let's factor the numerator and the denominator. So if there's a common factor, then we can reduce. Okay, the numerator is, we can factor out y, then 2y squared minus 1. The denominator is prime. It's a prime. So this is it. Okay, this time let's add two fractions. So when we add two fractions, they are different. They look different denominators, right? But since you can see this one, x and 4, these two terms changed. Then we can rewrite it. So why don't we interchange these two terms, x minus 4? Then we have to put a negative sign. Then this is equal to, rewrite it. So negative sign moves to the front, so minus 20 over x minus 4. So from here, now the denominators are same. So you can write it x minus 4. 20 minus 20 is equal to 0 over x minus 4. The numerator is 0, then the result is 0. If the denominator is 0, then undefined. But the numerator is 0, so the result is what? 0. Okay, number 20. Okay, the bracket. Let's simplify the bracket. So xy plus y over 4x. Okay, this is division, so make it a product. Then reciprocate this. So 1 over 3x plus 3. Okay, this is actually equal to what? Over 1, right? This is over 1. So reciprocate. And then divided by, okay, so this one divided by y over 3x. So since it's the division, since that is a division, why don't we convert it to a product? Okay, so let's change this one into a product, then reciprocate this too. 3x over y. So finally, this is all product, right? So you can write it like this. xy plus y, 4x times 1 times 3x. And this one is 3x plus 3 and y. They're all products. Since they are all products, okay, let's factor each factor. And this binomial can be factored. So factor out y. Factor out y, common factor, then what? X plus 1 times. This one is gone, you don't have to multiply. And 4x. Okay, from here you can factor out 3, then x plus 1 times y. And it's time to cancel out, reduce. So we have 1x here and here. 1, 3, 1, 3. 1y, 1y. So finally, the numerator is x plus 2 over the denominator is x times x plus 1. Done. Okay, let me double check something is wrong. Alright, I copied it wrong again. Okay, in this case, when you factor out this, when you factor out y, then this is x plus 1, right? X plus 1. This is 1. It looks like 2. This should be 1, right? Should be 1. This should be 1. So, from here, you can cancel out x minus x plus 1, x plus 1. So, all the numerators, the factors in the numerators are gone. So, that is equal to 1. How about the denominator? All gone, right? Not this one. They're all gone. So, it should be 1 over. The denominator is 4 only. So, 1/4.